of those slippery little topics. Lovies, it's Blissfully Mindful back at you with another Blissfully Mindful Chit Chat. This week we're talking about the art of happiness. So happy about this topic. Yes, this is something I definitely wanted to get into. So anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna get right into it. You all know happiness is one of those slippery little topics. We all have our own perceptions of what happiness looks like. We have our own manner of going about attaining happiness. And I look at happiness as an art form. So just like any art, happiness is it's a state of being for me, something you become. Not only do you aspire to, but you actually actualize in your life. And I don't feel like it's just like an emotion or something like that. It's a lot more to it than that. It's deeper. It goes deeper than that. And like I said, I see it as an art form. And I'm gonna go into the reasons why by just going through the life cycle of creativity, the creative process. So the first aspect of the creative process, inspiration. So we start with inspiration because I don't know how many artists I have out there, but I am one, and I know, I definitely always start at inspiration. Something inspires something creative within me, and I just want to kind of express it. I want to do something. I got to figure out a way to express it, and I just, get obsessed with it. I find inspiration in many different things, or there just could have been some happenstance where something inspired me and I didn't necessarily look at it. It could have been something someone said, something that I saw, and the next thing you know, it birthed this entire creative process. Like, oh, I have something, I have to get this down. It's an obsession because you can't think of anything else. You literally, it's taken over everything. And so that's what I mean by an inspiration. Something happens that inspires this creativity in you. And so for me, for happiness, something inspires you to pursue it. Something inspires you to want to experience this thing called happiness. We all do it. You seek it out because now you want to acquire it. Now it's this thing and it's sort of tangible to you, and so you want to actually acquire it. So now you're on this mission, like, I have to find this happiness, I have to do it. And so you're looking at people, like for most of us in the modern times, we're getting inspired to find happiness from social media. You know, it's us scrolling for hours and hours, you know, at the people that inspire us. And what inspires us about them is that they look so happy, because that's all people honestly portray on social media, is just them being so ecstatically happy all the time. They are just having the time of their lives. So it's something that inspires you. You look at that and you're like, I want that, you know, wow. I mean, I'm looking at this person's life. I feel like I can get that. I can do the same things they're doing, and I can get to that level of happiness. I can get to that level of satisfaction. And so you obsessively study them. You're looking at everything about them. You're looking at how they live, how they speak, things that they do, trips that they go on, what books are they reading, what shows are they watching. You're just like so obsessed with every aspect of this person, and you're reading everything about them, and you're looking at all their videos, and you're just binging on this person because they are so inspiring, and you aspire to be what they are, and you just have to sort of intake them, you know, like consume them fully. Phase 2, the incubation period is what I call it. It's when, okay, you've kind of taken in all this information, and now you're kind of processing it. You're kind of letting it marinate and let it settle in, and you're kind of getting comfortable with the idea of becoming what this looks like for you, becoming this person maybe that you aspire to be like. You're kind of letting it marinate like you would a sauce on a dish, and you just kind of put it in, you put the sauce on there, you in the season it up really good, put it in the fridge, let it sit, let it get all, absorb all the flavors all up in there. And that's what you're doing. You're kind of letting all the essence of whoever it is that you aspire to be, you're letting it all soak in. And that's step 2. Step 3, the eureka moment. Okay, this is when, okay, now you've got this object of your aspiration. You know, you've absorbed all of their essence. Now you have this epiphany of, so to speak, this eureka moment where now it's starting to, it's getting those juices going, and it's giving you a heightened sense of awareness of more than meets the eye. You're going deeper. You're diving a little deeper. You're seeing some more things that aren't so surface, and you're getting to some things that you can actually feel, and that are actually something that are stimulating to you. Now, you know, those juices have soaked in, so that's what's happening now. Now they're waking up some things. Some things are awakening within you, and you're starting to see the bigger picture. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You're seeing it from different angles. You are able to deep dive and see things that aren't even there, so to speak. And now that becomes what takes you to the next step, because you have this aha moment, and it's like, yes, I got it. I know how I can apply that to me. And now that's your aha moment, that's your eureka moment, and now it's more real for you. So now we're going to come to stage 4, evaluation. Okay, we have this information, we have collected our data, we've done the research, we are inspired, we're ready to go, we've let all of it soak in. Okay, now how can I make this real for myself? You know, what things can I do to make this my reality? So I'm evaluating things, but On top of that, with all the depth that I've been able to uncover in the eureka moment, now able to apply that. And again, I'm not seeing this as something so surface. Happiness isn't so intangible now. Something I can actually have for myself. So now here you are. You're really deep diving and you're really putting the pieces together. You're putting the puzzle together, and you're knowing who you are in this thing, and you're knowing all that you bring to the table that can make this happen. Now you're getting even more depth. You're getting even more adept at defining this thing. Now you have a crystal clear definition of what happiness is to you. You now see yourself and your definition of happiness as the ultimate definition. And you're focusing inward now. You're no longer looking externally for these definitions of happiness. So now, and you see how all of that was part of the process. Is nothing wrong with looking outward for inspiration. That's part of the process. It's all a part of the process. It's all good. Feel free to do it. It is actually helps. It honestly will help it progress a little faster, if I'm being honest. And that's what brings you here, because now you see, wow, maybe happiness is this thing for that person, or it means this to that person, but to me, it is so much more. To me, it is something that I mold into what I want to mold it into. I get to define it. I get to create it. I get to give it whatever meaning and resonance I want to give to it. I give it what life I want to give to it. I can do it at will. You just become empowered here. That's basically what's happening. You find your power, and you find your ability to create this once very elusive thing and now make it real. Step 5, elaboration. Everything. It's now the culmination of all of those steps come together, because now it's time to show and prove. It's time to actually put this into action. It's time to do it and not just say it. It's time to do it, not just dream about it, not just visualize, not just daydream. Now we're doing it. Now we're getting out the paintbrush and we are painting out the outline. We're actually doing the work to create this thing called happiness. We are molding it. If we're a carpenter, we're carving it. We're doing whatever our means of cultivating this thing called happiness. It is a creation. It is a reality. It is your life. It is who you are. It is you by definition. And now you are happiness. You have realized that happiness is in fact an art, and you are the artist. You are the creator of it. Nobody else. Of course, you can get the inspiration other places, and that's fine. That's all part of the process, and you realize that, and you value that now. Now you're not feeling so enslaved by the notion of it being something that isn't attainable. You know that you can now create it at will whenever you want, as many times as you want. And you realize that, wow, this is just one of my pieces. I can have a collection of them. You don't have to just have this one instance of happiness. You will redefine it at each stage of your life. It's not going to look the same as a teenager as it looked to you as a small child. It's not going to look the same to you as a young adult as it did when you were a teenager, or a middle-aged adult as it was when you were a young adult, or an older adult as it did to you when you were a middle-aged adult. It will, at every stage of life and at every stage of your emotional development, it will grow with you, and you will grow with it, and you will evolve and transmutate into something so beautiful, that even you didn't imagine it. And that's the masterpiece. Now you have created the masterpiece called your happiness. Your happiness is now a masterpiece. It is your greatest accomplishment yet. That's the art of it. That's actually the art of it, is the fact that you were able to do that and realize that and be empowered by it to now go ahead and do this all the time. And so I just had to get that out, y'all. That was today's chit chat. It's a little short one because I don't know, it makes me talking about happiness makes me happy. It does. It makes me happy, and hopefully it makes other people happy out there. And you all know I like to lighten up conversation sometime, and I don't want to always have like heavy stuff, you know, that we're talking about. I want to talk about light stuff, you know, light, fluffy, feel good. And I wanted to just kind of put this little intermission of that in here, you know, amidst all the other stuff that we chit chat about. But I do hope that you all enjoyed it, and as usual, give this video a big like if you did enjoy the content here. Share it with your friends, comment below on how you felt about it, and comment below, share with me you all ways that you are in pursuit of your happiness, ways that you are defining the art of your own happiness. Tell me in the comments below. Would love to hear it, and I'm sure it could inspire the rest of us. You know, maybe you have a way that's very inspiring to someone else, so please, by all means, share it, because you never know. You know, it could be a life that you saved. Maybe they really needed to hear that, or your manner of going about it is just that inspirational, and maybe it's something that makes it seem more attainable to them from where they are. Maybe it seems so out of reach, and so you're sharing it kind of help bring it back into perspective for them. So please share that below, and I want to hear it too. I'm just nosy. And plus I feel like I can always get some inspiration from you all. Always give it to me anyway. But I go into more depth in this in my newsletter, blissfullymindful.life. So if you have not already done so, be sure to go over there and sign up for the newsletter. Inspirations, Blissful Inspirations comes out every Sunday morning, and it's there to give you a good start to your week, to inspire bliss and wonderful things for you throughout the week. It's a good read, and it's just as fluid as my chit chats, but just definitely goes way deeper. So definitely be sure to go over there, blissfullymindful.life, sign up for that. Sunflower smooches, peace, love, and I wish you all the best of everything in your pursuit of the art of happiness. I love you so much. Sunflower smooches, peace and love. Mwah.